Okay, hi, my name is Alicia Moore. I am the Customer Experience Officer here at the Council. Um, this is our second webinar in our Lunch and Learn series about CEI. So I'm going to wait one more moment just to kind of allow everyone to get in, but we will get started in just about a minute. We want to be respectful of everyone's time. So, okay. Well, it looks like we have a very good bit of people on the line, and so everybody who looks like who signed up is actually here. So we're actually going to get started. So I want to first begin by saying thank you for taking the time out on your lunch break to kind of learn about CEI, a topic that I'm very excited about, and I think it's beneficial to you all today. So before we kind of dive into the meat of the webinar, kind of want to go over some housekeeping issues. So this webinar will be recorded and it will be posted onto our council's YouTube channel and our website for you to view later. So if you're not able to grasp all the information now, you will have an opportunity to view that information later. I do want to highlight the fact that we last Tuesday we had a webinar last week with Debbie McDowell Tate, who is our new Director of Membership. Very good information. She talked a lot about what are some of the changes in terms of the membership department and some of the language that we're using in terms of our switch from service units to communities. So I think it's some really great information. I want to encourage you to, when you have a moment, to take that information and take a look at that webinar. So I think it is really good stuff. The other thing that I want to point out to you is the ability to ask questions. So the whole purpose of this webinar and this webinar series is for you to be able to ask questions. So if you have a question, there are two ways that you can ask them. You can ask them in the chat box, or you can ask those questions in the questions log. So I'm going to get started. And just know that throughout this time, we're going to be taking questions kind of as we go along. So just let me know if you have any questions. We'll have kind of set times where we'll be able to go over some of those things. So today's topic is actually going to be the Volunteer Toolkit, which is one of the things that I'm really, really excited about for all volunteers. I think this is one of those tools that it's kind of revolutionary. It can change a lot of things, and I think it'll help you out guys a lot. So that's going to be our topic today. This is our agenda. Kind of talk to you about the purpose, for you to be able to get a lot of information and make sure that you guys are aware of all of the features that CEI brings. We'll kind of talk a little bit about what is the Volunteer Toolkit, and kind of getting into the meat of it is, year plans, meeting plans, some of the resources that are available within the toolkit, the finance tab, and obviously we'll open up for questions and then talk about some of the resources that we have provided here at the council for you all, so that you can access. So that's our agenda for today. It's kind of jam-packed, and I kind of want to move through things really efficiently, but quickly, just to be respectful of your time. There's not a lot of slides. A lot of this is going to be demo today. So I'm going to actually change over my screen, right, so that you guys can actually see our demo site. So I'm going to be working in a demo site. Some of the functionality within the demo site is, it's not all there. So if you can, give me a little thumbs up and say that you can see our web platform. Just want to make sure that you guys can actually see it. So if you can, just give me a little message in the chat box to say, yes, I can see it, or no, I can't see it. That'll be kind of helpful. All right, so I got a message that, yep. So you guys can see. If you can't see, let me know. But essentially what the Volunteer Toolkit is, it is a digital planning tool for leaders. So it's accessible on all different types of platforms, so you can access this on your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, so it's very functional and things like that. So, but at its heart, it's a digital planning tool to kind of plan out your year. So one of the things that we want to talk about now is how do you get access to the volunteer toolkit. So this is our council webpage. We call this the web platform, but it's what it is a council webpage. You get access from the MyGS portal. So if you are not familiar with this, and you need to get access to this because this is pretty much like your command center for Girl Scouts. This is where you'll be able to do your registration. This is where you'll be able to access, obviously, the volunteer toolkit. But if you don't have access to this, you can contact our customer care and we can get you access to the volunteer toolkit. So you'll go to our website, click on MyGS, and there's a little link here for the volunteer toolkit. As I said, I'm working in the demo site today. So essentially when you get in, this is kind of how it will look. So the first tab, we'll kind of go over each tab with you. And again, like if you have any questions, post them in the questions log as well as in the chat box. So if you know. But when you log in, this is your troop page. So this will give you a list of all of the girls that are in your troop. So it'll have some troop information. This is all fictional stuff in the demo site, but you can kind of get the idea of what it is. So this is one of the girls that is in this particular troop. It'll give you her date of birth, some really generic information about her, you know, any achievements, meetings that she's attended. All of those things are kind of listed here. You will have the ability to update her contact information, but you will also have the ability to renew her membership here as well. The idea going forward with this particular, this whole initiative is that volunteers will be able to access all things in one location. So that's our vision. That's the goal for the future. You know, now we have kind of like this thing where we kind of all over the place. We have a lot of different systems for one thing. The goal in you know, for the future is that you'll be able to do things in one place. So that's your troop information. You'll have information for all of your girls that'll be listed there. So let's go to the next slide. I mean, the next tab, I would say, which is going to be your year plan. So I'm listed here as a DAISY leader, okay? And, you know, this kind of helps you to kind of get an idea of what you're going to be doing for the year. So as you can see here, it gives you an option to do a badge year. So if maybe you want to work only on badges this year, or if you wanted to work on any of the journeys. So I kind of want to make a note here. There are 3 series of journeys, and for those of you who may not know, the journeys are essentially our program, right? So this is the Girl Scout Leadership Experience. There are 3 series of journeys. It's Your World, Change It, It's Your Planet, Love It, and It's Your Story, Tell It. So currently, there are only 2 series that are listed on the Volunteer Toolkit right now, and those are It's Your World, Change It, It's Your Planet, Love It. The last one, It's Your Story, Tell It. It's not available right now, but it is on the roadmap to be added to the Volunteer Toolkit. So just kind of wanted to make sure we're aware, you guys were aware of that. So I selected the Between Earth and Sky Journey series, right? And so as you can see here, it kind of pre-populates all of your meetings. Now this is completely customizable for you. So you'll have the ability to go in and make changes to it. So if I wanted to, I said, well, you know, I click on the intro here. It's going to give me a sample meeting plan, which is really, really cool. It'll give you some meeting notes, some meeting overview. So let's click on that so you guys can kind of see. So it kind of talks about what you may be doing for that particular meeting, some activities, this kind of snapshot of all of the things that are connected to that particular meeting, the time that meeting will, you know, approximately how much it will take, and any award connections that may be attached to that. So very, you know, robust system, and has a lot of great information for you. Here's the information about the activity plan. So if you're just looking for what activities are really listed here, it'll give you that in the time that is allotted for those particular activities. So really great system, has a lot of good information, really wonderful tool for some of you new leaders who may be out there who may be saying, hey, I really don't know exactly what to do. For more of your experienced leaders, this is totally customizable. So you can kind of change things up. So it kind of allows there to be something for everyone. The other thing that is listed on here is your materials list. So these are all of the things that you're going to need for that particular meeting. So that's a really, really great thing as well. So the other thing is some of your meeting aids. These are the things that are specific to this particular meeting. But if you wanted to add other meeting aids, here's a list of all of those other meeting aids that you can add, right? So it has a lot of different stuff. So if you're saying, hey, you know what, I really want to add this particular thing to our meeting, you have the ability and the functionality to be able to do that. Um, Here's your meeting agenda, kind of like a snapshot. Over here is going to be your timeline for that particular activity and just your overall project. If you wanted to add any items to your agenda, you have the ability to do so here. As you can see, you'll just enter what that item is. You can select how much time and then what actually is going to be happening in that particular meeting. If you had any notes that you wanted to add for yourself, so maybe remember to talk about this particular thing, you'll have the ability to add that as well. So very functional, lots of information, really great stuff. So the other thing that I want to show you guys is, I'm going to go back a little bit, is you selected your meeting plan. So you've selected what you're going to be working on that year. And it kind of separates everything down into 15 meetings. Now, again, like I said, you can add meetings, you can add things into it, you can kind of move meetings around, but it kind of breaks it down into 15 overall meetings. I want to show you one thing that I think is really beneficial as well, is you can specify your dates and locations. So if you're going to say, I'm going to be, my meetings are actually going to start, we're going to meet every Saturday, on a bi-weekly basis. You have the ability to do that here. You can deselect any meetings that you are not going to actually, have a meeting time with. So you can, I can go ahead and say, you know what, we're not going to meet, on the 24th, during the Thanksgiving holiday or during Christmas time, and I can update my calendar there. It's going to affect your meeting, so it'll move things around for you. So that's a really, really great thing. Give it a second just to kind of pop up. So it'll already pre-populate your dates there, right? If you wanted to move anything around, you have the ability to kind of move meetings, up and down. You will have the ability to do that. The other thing that you can add is, I'm going to go back to my location. So as you can see that it kind of listed all of the things that is going to be happening for that for our year. You'll have that ability to see that. And I can also add our location. So if I'm going to be at the parish library, right? So I kind of have some things pre-populated in here. 841 South Clearview. I can add that information, and I can assign it to all of the meetings if I know I'm going to be there every day, or for every meeting, or for only particular meetings. So maybe we're meeting at the library for the majority of our meetings, but maybe at a different time we may be taking a meeting at the zoo or something like that. So you have the ability to do that, and it's really, really functional. So I'm going to apply this to all my meetings because that's where we're going to meet. So give it a second, it'll kind of add. And then you have the ability to go back to your calendar, and that information will show on your calendar. So a lot of functionality, a lot of good things that you can do with this particular part of the process. It's really, really awesome, and I think that you guys will really, really like it. If you wanted to add a particular meeting, so maybe you want to add a meeting, something that you may be doing, you can kind of filter by topics. What type of meeting this is going to be. Is this going to be an award earning? Maybe it's the closing, maybe it's our bridging ceremony, whatever it is that you can kind of add and go in and put that information in the system there. So really good tool. If you wanted to add an activity, so say for instance, the big event is actually coming up, right? So you will have the ability to go and add the big event information here. All right, so it's the big event, and it's going to be at the University of Southeastern. I think that's it, Southeastern University, right? And you can select the day. It's actually going to happen on the 24th. what time you guys are going to be going there. You'll have that. So we're going to go at, at 11 o'clock. Okay, hold on. Oh, come on. AM. Oh, it's demo site and it's acting a little crazy for me right now, so I'm just going to see what I can put here. But you kind of get the idea. It's probably a little, oh, there it is. Got it. Yeah, got to go back. So I'm going 11 a.m. I don't know why it's not acting right, but this is the demo site, so there are some bugs and things like that. So you can add your time in, you can add that activity, and you'll be able to add it to your schedule. So the cool thing about this too, as well, is that parents will have the ability to see this. So this is something that you can email out to your parents. It's also something that they can go in and actually see this portal, and I'll kind of talk about that in just a moment. The other thing that I wanted to add here as we move on to the next phase, we kind of talked about the meeting plans and things like that. You can kind of scroll through all of your different your resources, all of your different meetings. You'll have the ability to kind of go directly to that. You see where it has my information here for the my meeting location, things like that. The other thing here is going to be your resources tab. So this is a really great place for you, especially if you're a new leader, to go in and kind of learn about, all of the different resources that are here, in addition to, obviously, our website. But to the safety, the activity checkpoints, really great resource. Working with parents, so it kind of gives you some tips on how to kind of work with parents and make sure that, you're communicating the right information to them. It also has some volunteer toolkit tutorial videos, so those are really, really great things as well. So it's kind of going back to what I was said earlier, in terms of there being things all in one place where you can kind of find them. So really great tool and resource, and I hope you guys really, really use it. And I'm sure that GSUSA will be adding other things as as they see fit. So I'm going to stop right here and kind of take some questions and see if there's anything that, any questions that you all may have had that I can probably answer for you right now. Can you move an activity from one meeting to another meeting? Yes, so there is some you can customize some things, the ability to kind of customize your experience. You will have the ability to do that, and at the end of this I'll talk about all of the enhancements that have come out in terms of the volunteer toolkit. We had a big update and enhancement that happened on the, it actually went live on the 9th. So it actually, the system, it went into effect in the system. They were doing it on the 8th, but it should have been available to you all on the 9th. So there is some functionality, and I'll have a slide that'll talk about all of the updates that are available, available to you on that. So the other thing that I want to talk about is, because it doesn't see if like we had any other questions. If you guys do have a question, put it in the chat box or into the questions log, and I can make sure I get that, get that answer for you. The other thing that I want to talk about while we're waiting for any other additional questions would be your finance tab, right? So right here in the demo site, it's really not functional, but it is in the live site. So, in the past, you guys had to create a budget and send it off to the council. Now you'll have the ability to create a budget in here, in the volunteer toolkit, and have the ability to email it to your troop support specialist here at the council. So again, all your resources, all the things you need to do kind of in one place, and that was the goal and objective. The cool thing about this, obviously, is that the parents will have the ability to see this information too. So I'm going to kind of switch over to the parent side. So I'm going to sign out of this particular part for the parents. So let me kind of go into my it saved. So. All right, so this is the volunteer the volunteer toolkit demo site, and this will kind of be how it'll look. So we kind of went over all of the troop leader aspects of it. Here's the parent aspect of it. So I'm gonna, select a parent. I was a Daisy leader on this last time. I'm gonna be a Daisy parent for this particular time as well. So the cool thing about this is that your parents will have the ability to go in and have a read-only access to the year plan. So they can go in, take a look at what you guys are going to be working on, when you're going to be working on them. They'll have access to meeting plans and things like that. So they'll have the ability to see, have full transparency. The cool thing is they'll have, access to, detailed looks at what you're doing, just like you had those detailed looks. They'll have access to the materials list. So say, for instance, you wanted to send them out an email to say, hey, you know what, we're really going to I need you guys to print out, the Daisy name tags, or to bring this particular snack. You have the ability to communicate with them and email that list to them. And they can also have access to go into the system and make those printouts, so you don't have to necessarily, send them to them. So it's a really good tool for that. I do want to stress the fact that it is read only. So a parent cannot go in here and start changing any of your information or anything like that. They won't have the ability to do that. It's read only. What you put in there is what they'll be able to see. So they'll be able to see your year plan. They can look at any particular meeting. So say, for instance, a girl misses a meeting, she has the ability, the parent has the ability to go in and kind of recreate that meeting with her girl, and so she can still earn that badge, or complete the work that was done. So really great resource. They'll also have the ability to see your finances. So what you are able to put in there, they'll have access to be able to view that. So it creates a situation where there's a lot of transparency, and that's always a good thing, and it kind of facilitates communication as well. So those are really the main things that I wanted to highlight about the volunteer toolkit. The other thing is, you see this orange line here? This is where any council events that will be going on. So this is, the cookie sale starts now, or the big event is going on now, or, will be coming up soon. So the orange is going to be the council events that the council puts into the system, and that's just to kind of make sure that we're communicating with you, everyone knows all of the events that are going on throughout the year. So really great resource. I'm going to take some questions now if you guys have some. Let me look at the chat box and see if you have any questions. So no questions. That must mean I'm doing a really good job, or you guys are really confused. I'm not sure. But if you have a question, post it in the questions log or into the chat box, and we can kind of go over those things for you. So that's essentially the volunteer toolkit. Again, like I said, you have the ability to email. I can't do it obviously into the demo site, but you will have the ability to email, materials list, meeting dates, all of those things you'll have the ability to do in the system. So I'm going to change over my screen because I want to show you some of the updates that is going on, obviously. So some of the release notes, as I told you, these went into effect September 8th. The GSUSA kind of pushed these down, and you guys should have access to this. For the Daisy, Brownie, Junior, and multi-level, all troops will have access to the system. But in terms of year plans, the only year plans that are available in terms of journeys and things like that will be your Daisy, Brownie, and your junior girls. If you have a multi-level troop, this is new functionality, something that has just come out. We'll give you the ability to do a custom multi-level custom year plan, right? So we'll give you the ability and the functionality to be able to do that. So say, for instance, you have some daisies in your troop and you have, kind of mixture of a daisy brownie troop. You will have the ability to kind of add different meeting plans. Maybe you want to work on daisy stuff at the beginning and then maybe brownie stuff in, kind of halfway through. You'll have the ability to kind of to kind of tailor that and customize that to what you want. For the older troops, there's a lot of customization available for you, and that is really by design, because once the girls get to, they're older, really at that point is girl led. So it allows for a lot of that customization, and they may be doing a lot of different things. So it kind of allows for that. The other thing is streamlined categorization of program content. So that's pretty much pertaining to your meeting plans. It kind of gives you a streamlined look of that. There's some new functionality within that, and I guess I think you guys are really, really, really like the way it's kind of more visual of how it's kind of set up for you. I told you before that there's multi-level leaders, so you guys will have the ability as multi-level troops, have the ability to go in and kind of tailor your plan to, whatever your troop is doing. These are some of the enhancements as it relates to usability. Again, custom year plan, interface for all users. That's something that was new. As I said before, it was really kind of predominantly Daisy, Brownie, and Junior. Now you're adding that multi-level and then have the ability to kind of customize things if you're an older girl. The printing module. Girl Scouts is obviously go green, but we still have, sometimes you still kind of want the ability to be able to print things and have those things printed out. So you will have the ability to be able to do that. Custom meeting notes, I kind of showed you that. That is one of the enhancements that is available on the demo site. So custom meeting notes, those will be visible for all leaders. So they're in our system now. There are no more O1s and O2s. What it is you have a troop leadership team, and everyone that is a direct primary, which is your leadership team, will have access to the volunteer toolkit. So there will need to be some communication between you and your leaders as to what you guys are putting into the system, and making sure that you're on one accord. But everyone who is a direct primary will have access to the volunteer toolkit. The other thing is the ability to launch meeting dates, calendars off meeting plan view. So that's a really more of a functionality issue. Kind of doesn't allow you to go back and things like that. So that's something that's more of a functional add-on. The ability this is new, and this was something that people, volunteers, were kind of like really serious about, the ability to fully delete a meeting off of your year plan. So in the past, you may have had a meeting there and you wanted to delete it. It wouldn't allow you to do that. And I guess the mindset with GSUSA at that time was that maybe you want to have the purposes of go back and kind of look at, what you were planning to do. Well, there was a lot of pushback about that, and so now you have the ability to fully delete it where it's not available. In the past, it kind of showed up as red, so now you'll have that kind of ability to take it off of there. The new thing is the ability to combine multiple meeting plans on one date. So that kind of goes into that multi-level leadership, multi-level planning thing, where you have the ability to kind of put different meeting plans onto one total date that you're working on. So maybe you're working on with the daisies and maybe you're working with the brownies. You'll have the ability to put multiple things on that particular date. So that kind of goes into that multi-level functionality. So that is the release dates the release notes, the enhancements that have come out for the system, and GSUSA is kind of working with this to make sure that the system is functional and everything for you guys. So I'm going to take more questions. Do you guys have any other questions before I kind of go off into some of the other resources that is going to be available to you? Because this is kind of where we are. We're in questions now. So the whole purpose is for you to ask any questions. So. No questions. Okay. Well, if you have any questions, if you kind of think of something a little later on today and you say, well, and I kind of really did have a question about that, you can email customer care, right? So I want to show you how you're able to go into the system. Since you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to show you how you can actually create a case and things like that. So you can use our contact us. I'll show you that in just a moment. Or you can email us at customercare at gsle.org. Our 1-800 number is 1-800-644-7571. Or you can visit one of our service centers. So the other thing that I want to point out here is we've extended our hours to kind of better, be there to support you. Obviously, that's the job of the council, is to support you as volunteers. So we've kind of extended our hours of operation. So we'll open now from 8:30 to 5:30, every day. We still do the first Saturday of the month for the shops. That's 9 to 1. So, and the shops are open during that time in terms of 8:30 to 5:30, as well as the customer care. So this is one of those other aspects of CEI that we're really, really excited about. So I'm going to show you how to start a ticket, because I want to make sure that you guys know that. If you don't have any other questions about the volunteer toolkit, I want to make sure that you kind of know how to do this. I'm going to switch my screen over just one more time so that you can see this. All right. So I think you guys should be able to see it now. If you can't, let me know. A couple of things I want to highlight here is, so this is our website. Again, you have the ability to go in if you have any type of trouble. This is one of those systems I'm really think this is great for you guys. Use the contact us form. If you put your information in here, your name, email address, your preferred method of contact, and the type of problem you're having. So if you're in a troop and you have some troop-related issues, then you can select troop support. There's service area support that is actually going to be community level volunteers. So if you're serving on a community level, formerly the service unit level, if you're having issues there, that's where you would put that information in. The product sales. If you're having fall product issues, questions about cookies or anything like this, you would select that type of question. Registration and reservations, that is going to be predominantly in terms of registering for events and things like that. Recruitment is something that you'll also have if you have questions about a recruitment event. Shop issues, giving it sponsorships, obviously, fund development and things like that. Or if you're really unsure and you're just like, hey, general question, you can hit general. You want to put your subject line and then put in, kind of give us an idea of what is happening in your problem. The cool thing about this is what will happen is your information, we have people that are managing these queues, so we have customer care, but we also have people that are in troop support or in product sales that are managing these queues. And it kind of keeps all of those questions in line and allows us to kind of have full visibility of what it is that you guys need. And if, people have to answer these questions within a certain time frame. So this is a really great tool. I was at a training on Saturday, and some volunteers expressed how much, how pleased they were with this particular part of the process. So if you have a question about anything, this is where you would go and start essentially a case. After you click submit, you'll get a message that says we've received your request for help, and this will kind of help you to be able to for us to keep up and better kind of serve and support you and make sure that you get your questions answered. So if you have any questions about anything, you can create a case for us, and we'll be sure and be happy to get your questions answered. So I'm going to, I think we did have another question. I want to make sure that you guys can see this. So as a troop treasurer, will I have access as a leader or just a parent so that I'm able to use the finance portion of the CEI? Great question, Courtney. Essentially, if you're on the leadership team, so if you're serving as a direct primary, one of the what you can do is, which will be a troop treasurer role, where you'll be serving on the troop leadership team. So when you go into the system, you self-identify as, or you add the role of troop leadership team, which is someone like a troop treasurer or something like that. you'll have access to that particular tab. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have another, if it doesn't, then I'm more than happy to kind of elaborate on that. So let me know if that kind of answered your question. All right. The other thing is, again, I want to reiterate that all direct primaries, so if you're on the troop leadership team, all direct primaries will have access to the system. So you guys will have access to that. All right. If you don't have any other questions, I want to kind of go to my next slide, which is kind of talking about the next couple of webinars that are going to be going on. So this is our weekly schedule. So we'll be doing these every Tuesday. And these are lunch and learns. Like I said, they'll be pre-recorded. They'll be recorded, so you guys can kind of go back and kind of have that information. Next week, we're taking questions on what topics that you feeling like you really need assistance with, and that is done intentionally to kind of make sure that we're meeting your need. So if you're going through this process and you say, man, Alicia, I really have a question about this, or could you elaborate on that? Go ahead and send me that. We have some things that have come in. Send it to amore@gsle.org. Again, that's amore@gsle.org, and I can add those to our list of topics. So really, it's just kind of free flowing to make sure that we are, as you're going through this, that you are getting your questions actually answered. So we'll have another one follow up on the 27th of September, and again, same concept. We'll kind of make sure that we're going over things that are pertinent to you and that they're helping you kind of go through the process. So let me know if you have any other questions. Kind of checking the questions log here. So you guys seem like you don't really have a lot of questions. Again, if you don't have any questions, I want to thank you for your time, and I hope that you found the information useful, right? And that you were able to get something out of this this session. Again, if you have anything that you want to kind of follow up on and maybe want me to elaborate on, you can email me at amore@gsle.org, and I'll be happy to add that to our agenda for next week. So hopefully, we'll give you 30 minutes out of your lunch back, and hopefully you can go and get something great to eat. So thank you so much for your time. If you don't have any other questions, I'll hold for a little while, but for those who may have some questions, but if not, then thank you so much, and enjoy your rest of your day and your rest of your week. So thanks.